What's your review of it? What's the verdict?
It's a 5 out of 10. It's for me, it is better than what we've seen in Phase 4. I thought Phase 4 was middling. Wakanda Forever, for me, being the worst of the last phase, along with Eternals. But there are some positive aspects to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. One being Paul Rudd, I think, is still very likable. I think the book ending of the Welcome Back song I quite enjoyed. The sort of humor that played out with him writing a book and reading his autobiography at a book signing, I thought was very, very funny. I thought the ending, where he kind of realizes, did he actually save the world, or is there a dark threat looming because of his actions? Where the movie gets kind of serious for a second and then it goes back to the music, which is funny. It's in character for Paul Rudd. He's the highlight. Michelle Pfeiffer looks amazing, shocking. She looks great.
I don't even think they actually de-aged her in the flashbacks.
No, it doesn't. She looks great. Yeah. I think this is more of the Ant-Man family movie than it is the Ant-Man movie, but whatever. I thought Jonathan Majors as Kang is promising, especially in light of the He Who Remains, which was in Loki in the final episode of that season. So there's positive things, and I will say this: I think you're wrong, Andre. I think that audiences generally are positive on the movie. If you look at Rotten Tomatoes score, it's in the 80%. I saw it with a group of people. About half of them liked it and half of them didn't. But even the ones who liked it did admit they've got Marvel fatigue, right? But
I would say though that you say that it opened in the end 84% range on Rotten Tomatoes, but when you look at what Marvel movies tend to open to, that's not great.
Yes, but that's again part of the fatigue, the Marvel fatigue. People are experiencing Marvel fatigue.
It's bad Marvel movie fatigue.
But I mean, look, there can be too much of a good thing. There's a reason that phrase exists. So, I mean, look, if Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was in Phase 1, we might have been losing our minds, right? If that was a Phase 1 movie, but it's not. We're 30 movies in. So, and how many TV shows? I think it's very telling that, it's been announced that certain television shows, Marvel TV shows, are on kind of permanent hiatus or hold in development. And, they moved the Marvels. The subliminal imagery in that Marvels poster is shocking.
Donald's, you mean?
It's not so subliminal.
Yeah, Tom, you have to bring that up on screen here when you can.
Yeah, but so many other things. I feel like Marvel's getting convoluted for normies. Just incredibly convoluted. There's so many bizarre plot holes, and you cannot think about this movie too much. I think the comparisons to Star Wars are not warranted. I don't know what I mean, other than I guess parts of the Quantum Realm city look like Coruscant. Other than that, I see no valid comparison to Star Wars. When I think you're comparing something to Star Wars, what comes to mind for me is tone, and there was nothing about the tone of that movie that felt Star Wars to me. It
was very Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it was Rick and Morty-ish. They have to stop hiring those writers.
They really do.
They're not very good, or they haven't proved to be good outside of Rick and Morty. But
they don't have Dan Harmon to get the best out of them. That's probably.
Yeah, that matters. I believe that a competent creative leader matters a lot. But you look, for me, it's a 5 out of 10. I think Yellow Flash said it was a 6 out of 10 for him. I think it's on the lower end, but it's not the worst of Marvel either.
No, that it most certainly is not.
But I think part of it also is, I mean, we're getting into spoilers now, but the two end scenes. You got the one, end credit scene where there's the stadium of Kangs all being brought together for what end? I don't know. I guess they're gonna have a meeting. You have Rama Tut in there, among others, sort of different incarnations of Kang. Then you've got that sort of tag at the end with Kang looking like a Frederick Douglass from, I don't know, early 1900s, 1800s, whatever, giving a little show presentation about time. And there's, of course, Loki. So it's a plug for the TV show. But if you don't know that, if you don't have Disney Plus or have the TV show, I find that a complete waste. I guess now you have to watch Loki season 2 to get more answers about.
Absolutely, and also just if I sorry, I did not mean to interrupt, but just want to use that to point out that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it was very little help to see Spider-Man No Way Home going into Doctor Strange. What you needed to see was WandaVision on Disney Plus. And an argument could be made that all of the Disney Plus series is what has really been detrimental to Phase 4, perhaps more so than the movies.
Yeah, so I just think it's like a mixed bag. Like I say, for me, it's a 5 out of 10. But like I say, I went with a large group of people, about 12, 13 people. We all went to see it, and half said that was fun. What are people complaining about? And then the other half were like, yeah, that was did not like that at all. So I attribute that to the fatigue. I think one of the weaknesses of this movie is this isn't a third Ant-Man movie. It's the first Kang movie, I guess. But so much of the logic, if you start to think about it, just starts to fall apart. And I've seen it twice. So on second viewing, like a lot of things just stood out as like, that doesn't make any sense.
I can mention another thing, because just to call back to what you said about Ant-Man being there wandering towards the end. Oh my God, did I do something really, really horrible? Did I destroy everything by not letting Kang escape? To which I would counter that, no, actually, for the Marvel Universe, everything is exactly the same. That Kang was stuck in the quantum realm anyway.
Yep.
And he wasn't coming out. And Ant-Man stumbling into it didn't change anything one iota where the larger Marvel universe is concerned.
Other than just getting rid of Kang, like in the.
Well, they had gotten rid of that particular Kang anyway, because he was stuck in the quantum realm with no way out. So he was already.
No, you're missing the other
dead.
part, which is that he enslaved the quantum realm. So the only thing he did is he freed the quantum realm, which again doesn't change his current realm, which means that his actions don't really have much of a purpose on the grander scheme of things.
Exactly, the whole movie was pointless, and Ant-Man doesn't need to feel bad at all, because things are exactly the same as Gary pointed out from Nerdrotic, if they just had sorted out everything over the course of a dinner, nothing would really have been any difference. In the larger scheme of things, it was a movie completely without stakes.
Yeah, why didn't Janet Van Dyne actually admit, like, I think I effed up when I went to the quantum realm? Or, when they were, I believe this was at the end, was this at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp? I'm trying to think of what movie, where Ant-Man goes into the quantum realm and then everyone that's outside of there to bring him back.
Yeah, that's the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. That was literally the only scene from that movie that also mattered anything to the larger scheme of things. The whole movie before that was completely pointless where the rest of the MCU is concerned, and I don't remember it. And to be completely honest, I don't know of anyone who's able to remember what happened in that movie either.
Yeah, no, with that another pointless one. But it's the idea that he would go down in the quantum realm without some sort of briefing about what he may encounter. I may have enabled a totalitarian dictator in this quantum realm. Just if you run into a guy named Kang, run the other way. That's all I'm going to say. Would have been a quick conversation. So Janet Van Dyne being coy about what happened for 30 years when she was gone that she wouldn't talk about it. And there were so many scenes of her, I can't talk about it. Let's go. We got to keep moving. We can't.
That was ridiculous.
They should have had a whiteboard meeting.
Right. Exactly.
In a small boardroom.
No, like really, she didn't even have to admit that she totally cucked her husband with Bill Murray if she didn't want to. All she had to do is look, there's this dude called Kang in here, and he needs to stay here. So all that means is that we can never, ever go back, and just to be on the safe side, we should just destroy every means of getting there, and we're good. That's my last 30 years. Now let's move on with the however many years we have left. End of discussion.
Yeah. It
I would
did
have
get,
solved the whole movie.
it did get ridiculous. That got frustrating for me. But having said that, I really love Michelle Pfeiffer. I thought she was well used in the film, and
I love Michelle Pfeiffer too.
yeah, she's
Oh,
great.
you mean in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.